World Tank Blitzers, it's a Littlefinger coming at you close here with the ISU-130. This is a full tank review on this Tier 8 Soviet premium tank destroyer. This is also a giveaway video, so look for one of the words that Armored Pants and I have come up with for spooky Halloween at some point in this video. Write down that word, your in-game name, and your server in the comments below. Make sure that you're subscribed to both of our channels. Links also below in the video description. And please make sure you're subscribed to our Discord servers as well. Drawing to be held, I believe, on the 31st. All right, so why now? Why the ISU-130? Well, if we drop to the store, we've got a dream team of tanks for 12,500 gold, which for what you get here is a very nice deal, as you get the camos for all three of these tanks: the Chieftain T95, the Type 59, and the ISU-130, which is the tank we're talking about here. You also get 9 equipment slots unlocked. You can buy this tank separately by itself, without the equipment, without the camo, for 5,500 gold, which works out to be about $15. And in this video, I'm going to talk about whether or not I think that is a good deal. And, right off the bat, I'm going to say that depends on other tanks in your garage. So let's first run through the setup, and then we'll talk about this tank. Repair kits, multi-purpose, and adrenaline is very standard for me. Combat rations, the improved fuel, and condensed milk. And you can see here I'm running at 10, 10, and 5. And the reason I have just as many of the premium AP is you will see that this tank is different in that your premium rounds have less pen but do more damage. So if you want to maximize your damage, you're going to want to shoot premium rounds wherever possible. And I'm just carrying a few HE rounds just for circumstances where we might need it. Equipment. So because I'm not running a lot of HE, I could get our pen up to 720. There's not a lot of difference here between the AP and the HE, and so I've been able to pen very well with this lower number here of 215 without the calibrated shell. So I'm using the gun rammer here to get my damage per minute up even higher, and we'll see that that is just with the AP, not with our premium AP. All right, defense system, camouflage net for our TD. We are running enhanced gun lane drive, improved assembly, engine accelerator, refined gun, and toolbox. All right, guys, here's blitzstars.com, and I've taken the liberty of putting the ISU-130 first. A couple non-turreted tank destroyers here, premium. The Scorpion obviously has a rotational turret, and then 2 just regular tech tree TDs, just for comparison's sake. And assuming we were running gun rammer on all of these, our damage per minute is just over 3121, in line with the Jagdtiger 8.8. Jagdtiger does not have near the mobility of this ISU-130. Now, as I said, if we switch this over to our premium rounds, look at the difference here, 3596 compared to these other tanks, which obviously with premium you get more pen, less damage. So that is not the case with the ISU-130. So look at this number, 3,600 damage per minute on 215 pen. Works really, really well. We've got 530 alpha and 460 with our higher penetrating, lower damage round. So it's a little bit different. It's unique. Than one of those things that I do like in these tanks. Show velocity does suffer a little bit at 870. However, I didn't think it was enough to run supercharge. Weapon handling is very good. You've got a 2.26 aim time, 0.308 dispersion, and that's without any equipment, 6 degrees of gun depression. And the thing that I liked about this tank, while it does pack a huge punch, 43 kilometers per hour makes it feel like it does move around the battlefield pretty well. You know, it's not going to be near as fast as the WZ-120 1GFT, which is, in my opinion, the best tier 8 premium tank. This ISU-130 for the non-turreted version is probably a very close second. I do like the Scorpion and the 130 PM, but for a non-turreted tank, this tank really puts out a lot of damage. And, you know, just some of the other interesting facts here. 170% credit coefficient. We do have only 90 hull armor, 75 on the side, 60 on the rear. And interestingly enough, here is very low win rate in this tank. And I just think people aren't driving it correctly. And I think just from, you know, a few tips and tricks here today, you can certainly do better than that in this tank. All right, guys, so just real quick with the armor, what you will notice is that the gun is not centered, and you do have quite a large penetrable front area down this side. So if you can at all possible, try to find yourselves behind a nice big building so you can cover half of your tank and just stick the gun and this small strip out, which should help you out a little bit. Other than that, you can see even with a Panther 2 shooting at you, this tank is very easy to pen, so don't expect a lot of bounces. Alright guys, here is our first battle, and by first battle I mean this was my first ever battle in the ISU-130 here on Castilla, and obviously we're going to be top tier because you get to be top tier for at least the first 5 battles when you buy a new tank. Alright, so it looks like the RHM and I have the same idea to get up onto the ridgeline. Castilla being one of the few maps that does have some good camping spots for TDs. Now, keep in mind, you know, I was just getting the hang of this tank at this point, and one of the things that you can see that I quickly changed up after playing this for a little bit was I switched to my main ammunition, the one that I have preloaded as being my premium AP. In this game I hadn't quite figured it out yet, but even still at 460 average damage, you know, you can get some super nice rolls here, like 500, 520 and a fire. The variation on this gun can be quite high too, and I'm not sure if I have this game lined up to play, but you know, you're expecting a kill shot and you've got someone right at 460. Oftentimes you can roll something really low like a 400 and not get that kill shot that you were expecting. So 460 on the AP is your average damage. And like I was saying earlier, you know, I don't see the gun dispersion. A lot of Soviet tanks, you'd have to wait a couple seconds for that aim time to get that shot in on the JP there. But, you know, the game is well at hand here. We're hitting the top hatch of Annihilator across the map. I'm kind of feeling invincible, but as you know, it's not going to last sitting on a hill like this. But I just wanted to point this out because I felt like, I don't know if this was first game luck or if this was just the accuracy on this gun. Look, we're hitting the mantlet right there, right where we're aiming on that E75 TS. And of course, I don't even bother to back off the hill here. I'm thinking I'll hit this next shot, but we don't, and yeah, we get taken down early there. So we go ahead and finish this game for the victory there. Level 3 sharpshooter, 28, 53, 52,000 credits there, and obviously a map that is great for that tank, just being able to sit up on the ridgeline there and just put in those ginormous shots. All right, guys, so Desert Sands, and I think it's this game, you know, I start getting a little bit more familiar with when to switch the premium AP to the regular AP, and quite honestly, when you are top tier, you can stick with that middle, the premium round pretty much all the time. And we're just going to be patient here and let this game unfold, hoping that they push into C and we get unsuspecting tank peeking around the corner. And sure enough, it's going to be the Tiger. We're not quite in the right spot. I need to get just a little bit further to the left, and we can back up this hill and just watch. AP, lower plate. Yeah, you've already used your repair kit, obviously, so 900 damage off the bat like that. Not likely for him to come back. Now, this SP1C, I'm just not sure what he was doing, just driving around, not doing any damage or any help. And this is when I noticed that the IS was in B, and I was expecting to be able to, you know, get him in a position where I wouldn't have to circle the buildings here. And this is about the time that I realized this guy is just gonna run me around. There's not much I can do. I am calling from help from one of the guys over at C just to come back. Just give me some help on this IS, because as you know, the life of a non-turreted TD is pretty tough, and you can find yourselves in some tough situations. And again, that premium round is panning, and I've got the Pantera that's obviously got another shot. This SP1C, why he ran away when he could have killed that IS is beyond me. And obviously a nice 1400 ammo rack there is going to help. But here comes the SP1C, a little late to the party. Not being able to pen this poor IS. But anyway, as you can tell, the game did not last much longer, and we managed to pull that out. Obviously a 1400 ammo rack in that 3354 is going to go a long way to upping the big damage there. So 65,000 credits, and there's that poor SP1C not helping out too much. But anyway, 4 shots landed there. And like I said, once you start learning that you can shoot that premium round, you start getting some big numbers. Alright guys, here is Black Goldville, and we are bottom tier in this battle. And I tell you what, I'm not quite sure why the meta has changed on this, but so many people are now going C, and it's just driving me crazy. Not a great spot to be going at all. Anyone that goes high ground has the hills and the cover that you don't get when you go into the town there. So I know people get tired of playing maps the same way, and I think that's probably what's happening here, a little bit of map fatigue as we're calling it. But anyway, what I was saying earlier about trying to block half of your tank, here is an example of just putting your face up against the side of the building. Gives you a much smaller target to be shot at. Waiting for the T-54, switch over to the premium AP. There we go, 580 into the side, and just look at this, their whole team came up to A. We've only got 2 in the caves and myself for support, and yeah, this isn't gonna work well. But just look at these shots, tracking, moving, hitting targets. The gun is really accurate, and like I said, it puts out some big numbers, putting that premium AP, and it's 540 average damage to work here. And that Lava is just picking us apart. They're pushing the corner as they should, and our WZ plays a very cautiously, I mean, he plays a good game, and we do win this battle, but this is the downside, obviously, to a tank destroyer with limited mobility. You know, I was expecting them to come through the middle there. They come around the outside of the building, And that's it. And that was a pretty quick game. But I'm going to skip to the end here because you can see it did play out for a good bit. And we ended up winning that on cap points. But 24-19 in damage. And as you saw, we didn't get very many shots off because our side of the map got pushed. But even with that 4 shots, serious damage, good money to be made in this tank. Alright guys, so here's the last battle we're going to show. This is Alpine Stad, and again, we are top tier. And really what we need to discuss is the tank worth 5,500 gold? That's a tough choice. You know, what I like about the tank, obviously, is having that premium ammo do more damage. At 3,600 DPM, this tank really puts out some big numbers. If you're looking for a tank with big numbers but not high derp, this is a good tank. If you already have, say, an ISU-152 or even at tier 7, the 122S, this tank is very similar to that, and you're not going to see too much of a difference. So I might say that it's probably not worth an additional $15. The question then becomes, is it worth purchasing in the bundle? As our STA is in the way of our shot. Well, the Type 59 is an amazing tank. If you don't already have that, you can face hug somebody for days and they're not going to be able to pen that rounded gun mantlet. You do have to deal with a very slow gun depression on the tank, but as a medium it is certainly one of my favorites. And you see here us lining the shot up, it goes just an inch higher than what we were aiming, and that is one of the very few shots that didn't go exactly where I was expecting it. The Chieftain, I don't think that's a tank that you're going to play too frequently. So, you know, as far as the bundle goes, it's a decent bundle, and I'll break that down a little bit more on my Friday review. And I'm just doing splash damage to this FE because he's not giving me anything to shoot at. So I don't know if that really answers your question. Me as a collector and someone that wants to own every tank, you know, I feel like I need to pick this tank up. But I'm not, you know, I'm not over the moon about spending 5,000 gold on this. I think that's a great price for a tier 8 premium, but I don't think this is a tank that I'm going to frequently pull out of the garage. As we line up some shots here on the Emil, finally get a bounce, and he's going to come at us, show us the side, even switch over to AP, premium AP, and get another higher roll. Unfortunately, he is closed in on, and that is the end of the battle with 2,800 damage. So nothing super flashy with the tank. You know, it puts out some big numbers with very few shots. We took more in this one because we did a few HE shots there on the FV. Obviously, some nice credits to be made at tier 8. So overall, it's a fun tank. I love the big damage on the premium AP, and I do think that I will probably end up buying the 5,500 option. Hopefully, I've helped you make a decision, and hopefully, you've picked up a few tips and tricks on how to play the tank a little bit better. And with that, have fun out there, guys. Stay safe, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.